Hey watch fans, today we're going to be taking a look at 4 undervalued Rolex watches. Let's kind of start off with my favorite, the Turnograph. This is a early 70s Turnograph in two-tone. I think you can still pick these up in the $4,000 range. The Turnograph was never a popular model, which is a shame because this really is got everything that a Rolex is all about. You have the turning bezel for timing, which we saw later used on the Submariner, the Yacht Master, and other models. This is a really great example. As you can see, what you want to look for when you're buying one of these vintage Turnographs is you don't want to see these bezels all smoothed out from a lot of polishing. You want to see these numbers nice and crisp like this. I would say this one is, on a scale of 1 to 10, this bezel is like, I'd give it like an 8. I've seen some really perfect examples. Usually those, for whatever reason, are coming out of Germany. Apparently the Germans take real good care of their watches. They seem to always have box and papers, and of course you'll pay a price. Next we have the day date, the president. And I have it now on a crocodile strap. I took off the, this is the bark finish. I do have a video on YouTube with the full gold bracelet. I've been wearing it on the strap. I haven't been wearing it that much, but the strap I find a little bit better. Of course, we have the vintage gold buckle, Rolex buckle. The strap makes it a little bit more, it's definitely a lot lighter, and I think it gives a lot more contrast. However, we're now in the summer, and the gold, the metal bracelet, I think is definitely better. I'll probably be switching back to that because obviously you can't really swim with a leather strap, and it rains, so you definitely want to get that metal. The presidents, the day dates, have been coming up in price in the last year or so, significantly. And I think what is pushing up the prices is the popularity of the, the 40 millimeters, which are, I think they're actually impressive looking watches. I think they're a little bit too much gold, a little bit too much, a little too big, too bulky. But they're definitely impressive, and those are selling in the 40s, 50s, crazy prices. The 36 millimeter, I think, is the classic. Definitely, I believe, the way to go. And the best value. I think the prices have sneaked up a little bit. I think they're about 15 grand, approximately, I would say, for something with a gold, with a gold bark bracelet, decent amount of stretch. So the bracelet, probably on a scale of 1 to 10, the one I have is probably 6.5. It has a decent amount of stretch. I think those are going for like 15 grand now, which is crazy. And now we're back to the Submariner, which I have shown you before. Now this is actually the early 2000s with the engraved inside the bezel. You see the serial number and all that good stuff. Sorry about the fingerprints. And of course it's got the gold through the buckle, which is what you want. So this is kind of the last of the old pre-ceramic, last chance to get those. I think they're actually going to, you could probably get them in the 10, probably the 12 grand range now. And I think this is going to be one of these watches that's probably going to be 20 grand within maybe 3, 4 years. And the two-tone is definitely the way to go, in my humble opinion. And then we have, of course, the Yacht Master in rose gold with the bronze or chocolate dial, which I have shown you before. This is a new watch. Why do I think these are kind of undervalued? Well, because compared to everything else from Rolex, you can actually still get these, and the price is actually pretty reasonable. So I think I think the market is going to kind of shift back to these. I think it's kind of been one of the overlooked models in the range. You know, we've seen the what do you call it, the Milgauss creep up in price, some other models. So I definitely think we're going to see some appreciation in those. But again, these are basically, you know, just some decent watches you can get at a good price right now. I mean, obviously the prices are higher than what they were 2 years ago, what have you, but these have been consistently ticking up. I would say the Turnograph is probably the best value in terms of upside appreciation. Submariner is most liquid. Probably dollar-wise of all these, I think the Submariner has the best total dollar upside. Not my favorite though. I would sell it, although I don't know what else I could buy where I can get kind of, I don't know, a decent value. And then of course the Yacht Master. I don't think this is going to have any big appreciation, but you could definitely see your typical, 5% compounding that Rolex is known for. Of course, now it's a little bit higher, but it is what it is. It could be, I think, between these two. I think between I might be wrong, actually. Between the day date and the Turnograph, I think those are the models kind of to watch at 36 millimeters. I think those are really the where you're going to get the deep value. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, and we will be doing a full collection review later, which includes some different watches. And there we go, another quick shot for those Rolex fans. Apparently the Yacht Master is the one that gets the most views on YouTube of the videos I've done. I don't know why, but that's it is what it is. Here we go. Not the best light, but you kind of get the idea. So there's your Sunburst dial. I think that's really the thing I love about these dials. You want that Sunburst effect. Let's take a look at the Sunburst on the Bluesy. Can we get a bit of a sunburst? There we go. A little bit, not too much. Here we go. Great, great sunburst. Champagne dial. Tritium. The tritium is flaking. What a great watch. I don't think this watch has ever been serviced. It's 40 years old. Amazing watch. Turnograph. Of course, the bezel turns, which is why it's called the Turnograph for timing. And of course, the finale. Probably the best dial of the group here. The blue Sunburst day date dial. These are not very usual. You're not going to find too many of these. And actually, this is not the original dial for this watch. This watch came with a champagne dial, and I replaced it with I believe this is probably a early 90s Rolex dial. Maybe somebody out there knows exactly what era this dial is from, but it's a replacement dial. and it is a factory Rolex dial, which is important. And I believe that the way they get this great sunburst in the day date is there is some gold they put behind the blue. I don't know what they do, but it's amazing. Great dial. You know, it could be, I noticed actually, it could be that is also why, yeah, this also has some gold in it probably. That's why you're getting that better effect, maybe versus the Submariner. Not as much sunburst in the Submariner. It's got the sunburst, but it's not as strong. So there you go. One thing to watch out for is this tends to get scratched up. This watch is a year old, and as you can see, it gets pretty scratched up. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys think of that, and leave your nasty comments down below.